So we've been getting a lot of questions from our sellers lately about, okay, I want to list my house and I want it to go under contract. Duh. What is going to make the contract terminate before closing? Like, what should I be looking out for, and how can I kind of get ahead of that? And so I know you deal with this quite a bit, so I really want to pick your brain about this.
Great. Yeah, there's 3 top reasons why transactions terminate once we're under contract. My name is Derek Wagner.
I'm Mariana Wagner, and we're with the Artisan Group at Keller Williams Premier Realty.
So let's dive into the top 3 reasons why transactions terminate while we're under contract.
What do you think is the biggest one, the biggest reason?
Well, 80% of all transactions that fall apart because of the inspection. I have my theories on it, but I would say this. Usually it catches the seller off guard. They had no idea that their roof was bad, their, name it, fill in the blank, their heater needed some repairs, their hot water heater has a leaking valve. Whatever the case is, it catches them off guard. Number 2 is they're financially unable to make those repairs before closing. They spend a lot of money fixing the house up and they just aren't prepared. Number 3 is they don't know who to call. Mariana and I flip a lot of homes every year. We've got a killer vendor list. To get on our vendor list, you have to be quick, responsive, and be willing.
You have to be good.
Yep, you do have to be good. And then you also have to be willing to take payment at closing, meaning we'll put a complete roof on a house and the roofer is willing to get paid at the time of closing. This alleviates so much stress.
I agree, because a lot of sellers, it's not like they don't have the money, they just won't have it till closing.
Yeah, and the last thing we want you to do, especially if you're gonna purchase another home, is to put those repairs on a credit card.
No.
Yeah, that just destroys your credit. Your DTIs can get all whacked out. So we just don't want that to happen.
In those situations, so what you're recommending then, just kind of sum it up, is that you can take care of those items with one of our vendors and just get paid, and then they would get paid at close. And so you can take care of those things and kind of alleviate some of the pain points of a deal falling apart, of a transaction canceling.
Yeah, and if you want, you can do a pre-listing inspection, which we can have our vendors or an inspector come over. The second most common reason why transactions terminate is because of the buyer's financing.
When we're talking about buyer's financing, it just doesn't mean, they can't afford the house. What are you talking about? Like, what are the things that happen that make buyer's financing a risk situation in this situation?
It can be all kinds of things, from they haven't been in their job or their job career type for over 2 years. That comes up every once in a while. They buy furniture or a car before they make their home purchase, so their debt to income ratios are changed right at the last minute. Employment is a big one. Last year we had 2 transactions terminate based on buyer's employment. Remember the government shutdown? Well, one of the buyers had his job terminate, so he was unable to get the loan. And then we had another buyer who we found out mid-transaction, about a week before closing, his employment contract states he has to live within 50 miles of the headquarters, and we were at 52 miles of the headquarters. And to save his job, he had to terminate the transaction. So there's all kinds of different reasons. There are some things that we can do to make sure that's not going to happen during the transaction. Number 1, when we receive our offer, we'll ask for a lender letter. So a letter from the lender says that they've either been pre-approved or pre-qualified. We want somebody who's been pre-approved, not just qualified. So the lender has looked at their credit, verified their employment, verified their bank statements, their tax returns, etc. That usually will get us through to closing. Now, there are times I do ask, when I call the lender, we ask them some questions. From the credit, there's some credit laws. They're not allowed to tell me about their credit, about their credit worthiness, but there is a trick question I like to ask lenders, which is, if this transaction is going to terminate based on their ability to purchase, why is it going to terminate? And then if there's an issue, they'll tell me.
The nice thing too is when we get that lender letter up front, one of the things that we know is it a local lender, is it a reputable lender, is it someone you know? Because generally, you know, we kind of are in a small town vibe, and we know, oh, if it's this lender, we know that they have checked all the correct things. We know that they've already checked to see if there's, you know, going to be complications up front. So
Then the third most common reason for termination is the appraisal. In the event that an appraisal comes in low, there's a couple of things that we can do. We can, number one, we can dispute the appraisal, and we can usually find some value on items what I would call subjective value, things that you can't go to Home Depot for, and you know,
like views.
Yeah, views. There's no view aisle in Home Depot.
There's no cul-de-sac aisle either.
There's no cul-de-sac aisle. So, you know, if you have peekaboo views, or if you have seasonal views, or if you have unobstructed views of Garden of the Gods and Pikes Peak, I mean, they all are worth something different. And it's really hard to put an actual value on that. And so those are things that I can nitpick with the appraiser to increase the appraised value. The actual definition of value is what a willing, able buyer is going to give you for your home. So if the buyer has written an offer for our asking price or the contract price, we try to get the appraiser to see that, and boy, maybe they thought the view was worth $50,000, $10,000, or the cul-de-sac or the corner lot was worth the extra $10,000, $15,000, or whatever it is. So that's usually how we work with the appraisers to get our value, our contract value.
And I think one thing though that you're very good at, that we try to work in our business, is pricing the property right to begin with. So I know that when you're talking with our clients and with our sellers, you are also taking like the appraiser's view into it. Say, this is kind of how the appraiser's going to view it. And so you're either priced right or you know what you're going to be up against.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for listening and for watching. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us.
Happy house hunting.
Happy house hunting.